Hello, more Bazaar. Today is patch day, December 3rd, patch 9.0. There's some new items, some new skills, balance changes, and then a teaser at the end here. Like the rest of these though, there's not a whole lot going on visually. This video, I will be reading through the patch notes, giving my thoughts on stuff, so maybe just chuck this in on the background. I will have the patch notes on screen though, if you would like to read along. So let's get right into it. So first off, there is now a leaderboard available on the website. When the servers are back up, you'll be able to check out the highest ranked legendary players in each season. I wonder if this works for previous seasons too. Anyway, the patch notes page will have the URL once it is available. And then for Vanessa, she has 4 new items: Flame Signal, Hate Leech, Scimitar of the Deep, and Vampire Squid. First off, Flame Signal is a 5-second burn 10 when you burn, haste an adjacent item for 1 second. So you could do some stuff with like Catfish, Shark Ray, anything that scales off of haste. But there's some stuff later that will interact with this in cool ways. And then we have Hate Leech, which is your items gain 4% crit chance for the fight on a 4-second cooldown when you crit poison yourself 1. I'm not really sure what the point of the passive effect is. I think it's so that there's a bit of anti-synergy with an item that I'll talk about in a second here, but it's kind of neat, I guess. It's kind of just weird chum. Anyway, I think the reason why Hate Leech is like that is because of this item here. 5-second, deal 20. When you crit, poison equal to 20% of this item's damage. When this item is hasted, your items gain +2 poison for the fight. So you could play this with the campfire, right? The flame signal. And then also it has a little bit of anti-synergy with Hate Leech, because if you're scaling poison, you're going to be poisoning yourself more, but you might want Hate Leech to do the crit effect. It's an interesting set of items. And then finally, Vampire Squid, which is a 5-second, deal 5, aquatic weapon friend, has plus damage equal to its crit chance lifesteal. So it basically just has a built-in swashbuckle effect, and you could stack this with swashbuckle, which sounds pretty cool. Like a card table or something. I'm excited to play around with this guy. He seems cool. And then there's also some new Vanessa skills: Deadly Waters, Denizen of the Deep, Friend of the Sea, Master Diver, and Master Sniper. So Friend of the Sea is your aquatic friends. Your aquatic items are friends. Master Diver is leftmost is aquatic. Master Sniper is pretty nuts. Leftmost ammo item has double damage and +1 max ammo. Sorry, I got cut off in the screenshot I took. And then Denizens of the Deep, first 4 times use an aquatic friend each fight, poison 5 and burn 5. And then Deadly Waters is your aquatic weapons, deal +20 damage. I'm not really sure what you do with Friend of the Sea. I think it's for like Sea Dog, Saloon type stuff and Tortuga. It sounds pretty cool. You could make Sea Dog, Saloon a friend for Tortuga, which sounds kind of interesting. Master Diver, you could do some shipwreck bullshit with, and also like, figurehead, all sorts of things interact with aquatics. Master Sniper, I think, is just gonna be for pistol sword. Maybe you can do some weird shuriken stuff with it too, though, right? I do find it funny that Master Sniper does not work with Sniper. Well, I don't know, maybe they changed Sniper. Denizens of the Deep, I kind of feel whatever on. Deadly Water is kind of the same thing. I don't know, you play it early game with like a Shark Claws and a Narwhal, and it probably does fine. But yeah, seems pretty neat. I think, was it Master Diver and Master Sniper both sound pretty good. And then we've got some new Dooley items: Micro Mak and then Epsilon Ray. Epsilon Ray being 6 seconds, shield 15 when you use the core or another ray, or shield items gain +6 shield for the fight. Which sounds pretty good. You play this armored core and then still die to poison. But it does sound pretty cool for armored core, right? Just some extra scaling in there. Maybe you play with some more rays, maybe. And then there's Micro Mak, which is a small toy vehicle. Haste this for 2 seconds. I believe this is going to lose cooldown on upgrade, because it gaining haste duration would be worthless. So I don't know, it seems pretty terrible at bronze. But at diamond, this is a 2-second perma haste item, so you could play it with, fiber optics or something to get your big item going off faster, right? And then we've got some new Dooley skills, but as far as I know, these haven't been revealed yet. But you got Ancient Technology, Like Clockwork, Pack Infiltrator, Primal Rage, Special Exhibit, and Time Traveler. It sounds like at least these 3 at the end here are going to involve like primal and relic stuff a little bit, right? I don't know. I'm interested what Time Traveler means. I guess we'll find out. And then we've got some new Mak items: Book of Secrets. At the start of each day, get a random skill from any hero. Mak continues to be the gambling character. I love him. This sounds really, really good. And you can probably get multiple starts at bronze, and you could just use your catalyst on some bronze. mediums, right? Also, I have heard that if this thing is like toxic enchanted, for example, it will give you poison related skills, which sounds pretty good. You hit an icy one and then just get all the ice skills. Well, I mean, by the time you hit that, you probably don't have that many days left, but you'd hit like 5 of them, somewhere around that. Sounds really, really good. And then we've got Spider Fern, which I think is a little bit weird. 4 seconds poison to friend. When you win a fight, this gains +1 multicast. When this already has 4 or more multicast, it loses all multicast instead. I have no idea how to feel about this item. Like, at best, this is a 3 multicast poison item on a 4, which is not bad. I wonder if it works in the bag, right? Can you win a fight? And if this is in your bag, it still gets the multicast. That might make it a little bit more playable. It sounds very weird though, and I wonder how it interacts with shiny. It's very unique, if nothing else. I don't know. It seems like kind of a headache to micro, and I feel like I'm gonna get mad when I walk into the PvP fight and I see someone with a 3x cast, and I'm like, damn, I guess I'm him. But oh well. Anyway, new Mak skills. Ancient Flamekeeper, Ancient Toxin, Secrets of Life, Debilitating Secrets, and Frozen Secrets. Most of these are just the first, let's see. The Frozen and Debilitating Secrets are the first 5 times use a relic, freeze for 0.5, or slow for 1 second. Ancient Toxins and Secrets of Life and Ancient Flamekeeper are the first 4 times, and they poison, regen, and burn respectively for 5 each. They seem, I don't know, kind of whatever. The freeze and slow ones seem alright, I guess. I don't know. The freeze one seems good. The other ones kind of just seem like, oh, if you want some extra scaling on like a life conduit, you pick up the one with regen, right? They sound fine. And it's a bit more bloat to max pool, right? Because currently it's a lot of like diamond skills only, right? I think he's got like 8 of them. Anyway. Then we've got some Pyg Skills, favorite toy, high yield investments, long-term investments, playing with fire, playtime, and pure imagination. So 3 of these sound like they are toy based. This is another one that hasn't been revealed yet, so I have no idea what these do, but it's cool to see that there's some more Pyg Skills. General changes. Here, I'm gonna just glance over these to see if there's anything important. Okay, here we go. Correct a number of deadly enchants that were incorrectly working from the stash. So there were a couple of these. I actually, am I allowed to say this? I think I'm allowed to say this. I told them about a lot of these. The deadly, was it fungal spores? I think black ice was working from the bag. There was a lot, but I guess they're all gone now. Sorry for snitching. Anyway, item spawners. Correct an issue where some spawners could spawn the same item multiple times. So apparently this was, I don't know. They said forever ago that they fixed this, and then it did, like, nothing changed. But maybe for real this time you won't just hit like multiple, I don't know, pearls off of a fishing rod. New combat music behavior. Your equip board now determines the combat music you'd hear in PvE. Old PvE specific tracks been removed. Yeah. During PvP board swaps, you'll continue to hear your opponent's combat music as usual. Cool. Nice. Economic Seminar now spawns items from any hero. Correct an issue where these would only spawn bronze to your starting. So didn't they already fix this, or am I losing it? Oh, also I was right. I was like, I swear I'm only getting bronze. People are like, no, I swear I've hit a pawn shop off this. It would lie on the internet? What? Herma now spawns for Jules. I guess it's good for basket. Sure. Jules Cafe. Clarified description of get inspired option. Added a never mind option so the player can return to the previous options if they don't want a stove or cooler. Good change. I don't get why they don't just add the 10 gold cost to the initial get inspired option, but sure, this works too. Lickit's items cost gold again. Fair enough. They were really, really good. Malifang now spawns for Pygmalion. This is the burn guy. Burn skill vendor. Interesting. Huh. So it'll be a lot easier to hit something like Conflag, right? Yeah, so unless they added any, which they did, right? One of these is called Playing with Fire. I would assume that deals with fire. But Pig only has 6 burn skills right now, so it's really easy to kind of just hit whatever you want. Probably Conflag, right? Huh. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe Matchbox and Rice Baller builds are back in style. I mean, they always were. Street Festival. Correct an issue where certain merchants did not spawn from this encounter. No longer has a reroll. Always spawns 3 merchants. Bronze, silver, or gold and higher. Okay, interesting. So it's a lot worse now, but it's probably still fine to click on. The docks now correctly identifies that it spawns items from any hero. Correct an issue where these spawn bronze tier starting at. Didn't they also fix the what? Didn't they also fix this? I'm so confused. Whatever. Anyway, item changes. Vanessa items. Chum is now food. We did it. Yippee. What will this do for Vanessa? I don't know. Crit scaling is now 3, 6, 9, 12 instead of 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's a little bit worse at bronze, but it gets better overall. I don't know. Who's running Diamond Chum though? I guess I could maybe see it. Like a shipwreck thing where you need crit to scale? Maybe. Maybe with the new items, right? That scimitar that poisons every time you crit, it could be good. Maybe. Okay. Custom scope. Crit to 20, 30, 40% was 15, 20, 25. So custom scope got a lot better. Plus 15% crit at diamond. That's not bad. Honing steel is now a 4-second instead of a 5. Music cut out there for a second. Anyway, and then the scaling is 6, 12, 18, 24 instead of 8, 12, 16, 20. So better at diamond. I think about the same at bronze. And then overall a buff at all other tiers. Okay, I don't know. Who's running diamond honing steel? Good question. But I guess it's nice to see. I think it's about the same at bronze. Anyway, port now starts at silver. Okay, sure. Maybe I'll actually buy it as an econ item. Maybe. Ramrod is now 3 seconds. When you reload an item, it gains 10, 20, 30% crit chance for the fight. Replaces the charge ability. Oh, okay. It sounds interesting. I don't know. Maybe you play those, like, maybe repeater will finally be somewhat playable. Maybe. Because I don't know, 3 seconds, reload 3? Yeah, maybe. Alright, shot glasses. This has to be like the most changed item in the game. Every patch is getting nerfed or buffed. Ammo to 1, 2, 3 was 2, 3, 4. Okay. Silencer now has the tech type again, so you can hit this shit on Dooley and then print it. That sounds pretty silly. Overall, and then otherwise, I don't know, you play this with wetware early, right? Is what you do with it on Vanessa. Slumbering Primordial, multicast to 4. Whoa. Cooldown to 25 from 24. Damage to 25. Damage scaling to 25. Okay. But it doesn't have a little slash, so I think this is also diamond start now. Okay. Isn't it like the same, or am I stupid? Yeah, no, just double checked. It is the same overall damage, but you know, if you put some plus damage into it, it's better overall, right? You know, multicast is usually just better than one big hit, because you can interact with a bunch of other stuff, right? I don't know, you put this next to an incendiary rounds, I don't know. But it has new visuals, which is cool, I guess. I don't know, do you really care about a left-handed into this thing when it's already scaling 25? I don't know, it's probably just, I don't get it. Like, it's overall a buff, but like, I did not really like Slumbering Primordial. I guess the buff here is it starts at diamond, so you won't see it as much. But you know, new visuals is cool too. I don't know, I'll have to try it. Maybe I underrate this thing too much. I don't know, maybe you can set up some loop with like a pufferfish and a jellyfish, or Slumbering Primordial is hitting 4 times. And, I don't know, 4 times every... I don't know, I guess it charges pretty fast if you get a good loop going. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. I'll have to try it basically. Anyway, cool change, at least visually. We'll see. Anyway, dually items now. Black Spider now slows 2, 3, 4 items. Was 1, 2, 3. Okay, not bad. Chaff renamed to flares. What's chaff? Oh, I thought this was like a guy. No, this is the... Huh. This is the when an adjacent item burns shield. And then if an enemy destroys one of your items, it would be destroyed first. Okay, I guess. Combat core scaling to 50, 100. This will do it, guys. Get together, combat core fans. This is our time. No, it's probably all right. I think combat core was fine. It was like a little bit mediocre, and this is probably gonna make it pretty good. Cool LED start at bronze. A little bit weird because you don't have your core at bronze, but I guess we'll see. Cooling fountain is now 3-4 second cooldown instead of 3. Good change, is a little bit fast for what it was doing. Defense matrix is now a 4-second cooldown. This is then when you use an adjacent item shield, and then it also does a bit of haste when it goes off. So it'll be a 4-second haste 1, 2, 3 on adjacent items. Not bad. DJ circuit breaker, nerf buffed. Like tried to combine the two words on accident. Anyway, 11-9 7-second cooldown instead of 10-9 8. So it's better at diamond, same at gold, and nerfed at silver. That's pretty fair. It was a very strong pickup at silver. Probably still pretty good. Flintstone's now back to 4-second cooldown, and the burn scaling is now 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 2, 3, 4, 5. So this makes it a bit worse if you do have tech on the board, right? Probably just none at all anymore. I mean, that was usually how you were playing it anyway, but sometimes you just have a big enough burn number that it's like, oh, I only need this to go off once anyway. But yeah, burn scaling is a bit lower now. It's hold on. Definitely a nerf at bronze, but a bit better at higher tiers if you're playing diamond flintstones. I don't know. Another forklift buff. Bonus damage to 150, 300 instead of 150, 250. Not bad. Ice 9000 only freezes one item now, and its poison scaling is 2040. So it actually got buffed at diamond? Weird. Why? I've been under the impression that this item is pretty good. I don't know, maybe the one less freeze will do it? Maybe that mattered a lot? I don't think that mattered a lot. Weird. Anyway, Mech Mole starts at bronze. Oh. I don't think that's terrible early. You play like pulse rifle, mech moles, and then like a levitation pad? Or a cog. What's the other ones? There's like a power sander. I don't know, like it's not bad scaling. What's the scaling gonna be though? Hold on, let me look. All right, so here's the current scaling. So I bet it's gonna be 5, right? It's gotta be 5 for sure. Well, good to know. Yeah, that doesn't sound terrible for day 1. I could see playing that. Cool additional start for Dooley. Nitro starts at gold. Oh, but the cooldown is 3 seconds now instead of 4. Okay, I guess. A question I have is it still gold charge 2 and then diamond charge 3? Because if it's diamond charge 3, it just charges itself immediately if it were to target itself, which is kind of neat. Huh. Well, maybe that's what it is. I wouldn't be shocked if it's just charge 1, 2. Maybe that's the reason for the change. Maybe. Alrighty. And then let's see, Pierre conditioner cooldown to 8-6 seconds instead of a Pierre buff too? Really? I've been under the impression that Ice 9000 Pierre was like really strong. Huh. And it's just getting buffed. Okay. Weird. Alright, power drill cooldown to, wow, big buff for power drill. 12, 10, 8, 6 seconds was 15, 13, 11, 9. So 6-second power drill. Kind of nuts. It will not be very hard to make this thing go infinite at all. So I guess you just got to solve the scaling issue, right? Maybe you play some weaponized core. I don't know, you pick up like shatter. You could scale it like that. Interesting. I don't know, maybe you play mech moles. Maybe. You run like metronome. You run mech moles, metronome, power drill. That wouldn't be terrible. Very interesting. Okay, cool change. I'm excited for power drill to be back because I don't know, you play this early and then you just kind of drop it, but it sounds pretty good late now. Anyway, remote control cooldown to 7-6-5 seconds was 8-7-6. That's not bad. I like remote control quite a bit actually. I've played it a little bit this patch. Mainly making printer infinites where you run like fiber optics, printer, and then a remote control at the very end. and then your core is charging remote control for like 8 seconds, and then you use the core, and then the core charges again. It's very, very cool if you can get it set up. Not that this change has anything to do with it. It would work even at silver. Tanky Yankee corrected issue where it wasn't shielding from relics. So yeah, they made the change where this now shields from dinosaurs and relics, and then forgot to actually make the change. Or they did make the change in like one part in the code, but forgot the other part. So now maybe it's finally time to run Force Field, Primal Core, Tanky Yankee. It might be ass, but I really wanted to try it, and I actually had a run of that. It was shielded Tanky Yankee Obsidian Force Field, and it was really bad, and I was like, why is this bad? I feel like it should at least be okay. And then I found out the Tanky Yankee wasn't working, but now it works. So that's cool. Let's see, temp nav, cooldown to 9.876 seconds was 6. Haste duration to 2 seconds flat. So overall, a nerf, I would say. Interesting. I don't know. I felt like this item was pretty solid early, so maybe that's the reason why. Because it's an econ item. It's a really good econ item too. But I also found myself just playing it on the board a lot of the time. Anyway, Tesla coil damage to 25, 50, 75 was 25. Let's see, charges when you use adjacent tech, so I don't know, it'll be dealing okay damage now. I guess that's fine. Weak point detector scaling to, whoa, 5, 10, 20, 40 was 5, 10, 15, 20. So like double at diamond. Interesting. Maybe that's the way you'll be scaling power drill. That's not bad at all. All right. Now on to Jules. Apron cooldown to 7 seconds. Hold on, where's Durian? Starts at silver. Okay, so yeah, they desync the cooldowns. Apron is 7 seconds, Durian is 6. So you gotta address that somehow. Interesting, and that'll nerf that strategy quite a bit, because part of the reason it was so strong is Apron's also 6 seconds and Durian is also 6 seconds. I bet it'll still be all right. I think Apron's pretty good, but going from 6 to 7 kind of hurts it a bit. We'll see though. Beach Umbrella cooldown to 5 seconds was 8.6. Regen increased to 20% of shield. Ooh. And then its enchants now map to regen but required chilled. That's really cool. So you could put like fiery on this thing and you're, I don't know, I guess you're basically just plating welding torch at that point though. Burn for 20% of your shield. I don't know, it sounds kind of fun though. Interesting. Burrito, burn, and regen to 369 was 246. This is the 3 second if heated. This has 100% crit, so it's a bit better just baseline now. You don't have to scale it as much. That's not bad. Caviar gives crit equal to triple its value, was double. Yeah, I kind of felt nothing for caviar, but it seems kind of cool now. You buy it at diamond and it's what? It's 24% crit for all your food. I don't know, it's like a weird amulet that scales. It's not bad. Chocolate coin, crit chance added equal to half its value. Yeah, it makes sense. This thing was kind of nuts. Coffee starts at bronze. Hey, they fixed it. In an attempt to nerf the like early burn lines, right? They nerfed microwave, and then the common thing to run with microwave was coffee, but in killing coffee they also killed rice, so maybe rice is viable now. That would be kind of cool. Oh, also rolling pin now finally has an actual haste target for it that isn't butter. Because all of the haste early game stuff only targets food, coffee does not. That's nice. Dishwasher, adjusted tooltip so it accurately reflects duration of haste and heat correctly. Correction issue where it was heating items for 4 seconds at gold tier. Whoa. Okay. I guess there wasn't really a reason to upgrade it before. Now you know. Dragons take to 8.6 seconds cooldown instead of 9.6 second cooldown. So this is the item that's when heated, burn equal to this item's crit chance. I want to play around this sometime. Dragon melon. Health scaling to 20, 30, 40% was 10, 20, 30%. This is when chilled, gain 20% more HP. And then Durian is now silver, so it'll be a little harder to force something like Durian Apron because they're not both just bronze starting and very easy to find. That'll be interesting. I bet it's still pretty good though. Durian is very strong, and Actually, this affects the early game other shielding builds quite a bit too, because you need to kill through some other way, right? If you're running like basket or birthday cake. Interesting change. I guess we'll see, because I do feel like that's kind of all Jules was able to do early game, was just play shielding builds, and then Durian is your way of actually killing without. I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say her only thing she was doing. You know, you can play weapons, and some burn items were still fine. Anyway, farmer's market, max health gain equal to 3-5 times the value of the sold food. Cool, instead of 2-4. So, a 1x buff. Feast. Burn and regen scaling to 4-8 instead of 3-6. Isn't this just how it was on release? Okay, so they just read it, or reverted it rather. Fortune cookie. Correct an issue where this could not spawn a skill in some cases. Weird. Fruit press. Cooldown to 5 seconds was 7. That's kind of cool. Huh. Interesting. I've tried a couple fruit press games. My main issue with it is it was just really slow. I'll have to try this out again, because I think it's a neat item. Alright. Giant sub charges on any tool use. Just rework it, please. Make it work on anything, not just food again. Fix the fire claw thing. I don't know. What do you even play with giant sub? I have no idea. No one's playing this thing, man. Alright, and then Grill got a bit more base burn. Sure. Honeycomb buffs any regen or shield items, not just food. Good change. I want to see more of this. I think there's a lot of items in Jules kit at the moment, which like don't really need to say specifically food, right? Okay. Hot sauce got unbonked, I think. Yeah, I think this is just how it was before. Kitchen scale. This is the if both adjacent items are the same size, cut this item's cooldown in half and then hasted. It is now a 7-6-5 cooldown, was a 6. Haste to 2-second duration was 1-2-3. So, I don't know. Not really a buff or a nerf. Kind of just whatever. It's different now, but the same. Lao Lao regen to 3, 6, 9, 12 was 2, 4, 6, 8. Floral's favorite burn 8, 16, 24 was 5, 10, 15. Oh, that's not bad. Huh. I'll have to try this sometime because it's not bad burn numbers. Okay. Luau cooldown to 4 seconds was 6. That sounds pretty good. 4 seconds, slow 3 items for 2. Okay. Maybe I'll actually play this instead of just the farmer's market infinite. You can play this in the other slow boards, right? Good change. I like that a lot. Oven mitts now have the tool type. Makes sense. And I wonder if it's useful because these are the ones that charge when you use a heated item, right? Maybe you could make some cool setup like that. All right. Pasta gain. Ooh, wait, this is really cool. Gain max health equal to 5 times this item's regen for the fights. Previously, this was just a flat 10, 20, 30, 40. But now you could play this with like farmer's market, right? You increase the base regen by a bit. Just gain more and more max HP. Yeah, because farmer's market is adjacent regen items that plus regen equal to 1% of your max health. So you kind of just keep doing that. You keep scaling. It sounds very cool. I want to try that. Really good rework. All right, and then pizza got its base numbers upped by so it's 2, 4, 6 burn regen instead of 1, 2, 3, so doubled. Prep station now starts at bronze. Good change. Shield bonus is 5, 10, 15, 20 instead of 10, 20, 30. So it nerfed at the higher tiers, but you weren't really playing this thing later anyway. Sorry, I have to keep reminding me what these Jules items do. But that sounds all right to have early access to, you know, play with like a pie build maybe. It sounds all right. Alrighty. Refrigerator cooldown applies to all chilled items was food. Good change. Less of this. Although I don't see pumpkin here. I think pumpkin is the most egregious example. I'm kind of shocked it wasn't changed. Yeah, here it is. When you use an adjacent tool or food shield. Why is this tool or food? Jules has 10 whole non-tool foods, and 3 of them are passive items. There's 7 total items you could play with this if, like, this text was removed. Why does it exist? I don't know, maybe it's the damn holding back the pumpkin meta. Anyway, I'll stop ranting about pumpkin. Rolling pin, 5-second cooldown, damage to 30, and damage scaling to, yeah, you played rolling pin coffee probably. I don't know. It got buffed a little bit, not like a ton, but it sounds maybe okay for day one. 30 damage scaling. Coffee is gonna be, is coffee on a 4-second now? Yeah, assuming coffee is still a 4-second at bronze, which I don't see why it wouldn't be. I don't know, 4-second plus 30 damage. Yeah, because 1-second haste will also cut this down to 4 seconds, so every 4 seconds plus 30 and then hit. Not terrible. All right, skill it cooldown to 6. Yeah, they gave it very silly numbers. But it's, let's see, I believe skillet was a 5 before, right? Yeah, old skillet was a 5-second, but its burn numbers were also a little bit less. Like old skillet was like 2 and then 4, 8, 10, I believe. Actually, no, it was worse than that. It was 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, that's quite a bit higher burn. Okay, skillet's probably playable again. Yippee. I hope it's not too much like last time, right? Alright, sushi boat. Redesigned silver start, 5-second cooldown. Your items gain 10, 15, 20% crit chance for the fight. When using a non-heated item, charges 1 second. Okay, so you play this with like crit synergy stuff. I see the vision. You play it with like plates and I don't know, a basket or something. Sure. Toaster now starts at bronze. This is the item that is when using adjacent food. This gains 1 burn. I assume it's going to stay at 1 burn at bronze, so it sounds all right. You play it with like a, and it's a tool too. You play this with ramen. Yeah, it's not bad. Every 2 seconds, gain 1 burn on the multicast item. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, I really like the Jules changes. A lot of cool new early games are available now, and I like a lot of the reworks here. Fruit press, I'll have to mess around with the pasta rework. I really like. I want to play that with the farmer's market. That sounds really fun. All right, on the Mak, Athenor burn 1525 was 1220. Cool. I don't really see this item all that much. Maybe that'll help it out a bit. Atmospheric sampler. What did they do? Starts at gold. Okay. When using a flying or enchanted item, charge another 1, 2. Okay, so it's like plates. So it charges 1 enchanted or flying item at gold, and then at diamond, it's 2 of those. But it's not charging 2 seconds anymore. Good change. I like this a lot. You can still definitely do some loops with it, right? For sure. But good change. Black Rose starts at bronze. This is the one that's when you poison gain regen. It sounds alright early. Candles is now... What is it? The world's most nothing change. If you don't remember, last patch they nerfed candles by 1 burn. This patch, they buffed candles by 1 burn. Whoa. Awesome. Okay. I don't know. I saw the candles change last patch. I was like, why? And then I see this and I'm like, why? Awesome. I hope they just keep doing that. Seller as the property type. That's kind of neat. I don't know what you do with that, but I guess it makes sense. Chunk of gold. Sell value to 3, 5, 7, 9 instead of 3, 6, 9, 12. So 3 less value at diamond. A bit less money to be making from calcinator and retort, I guess is the idea. It sounds fine. He'll be a little bit poorer in those builds, but usually you just had so much money. I don't know. Maybe it will be a lot more than I'm thinking it will be, but like, I don't know, -1 gold at silver, I don't think it'll matter that much. Oh no, I'll be slightly less incredibly rich. Ice Claw now starts at silver, scaling to 30, 60, 120 was 50, 100. So buffed at gold and diamond also. Cool change. Maybe Freeze Mac will finally be viable in another 100 years. Infused Bracers cooldown to 6, 5, 4 seconds was 5, 4, 3. So kind of hurts start time at diamond now. I found myself playing this a lot just for the start time. You know, 3 seconds, 2 poison procs is pretty good. Potentially more if you play with a rapid injection, right? Could just fully charge a spider mace. Anyway, Peace Rot cooldown to 7, 6, 5, 4 was 8, 7, 6, 5. So a 1 second buff to Peace Rot, and then the base regen went up by 2. Sure. I'll have to play this again sometime. I'm kind of just waiting for it to waiting for me to roll a toxic one out of a nightshade, but cool change. Plague Glaive cooldown to 8 seconds was 8. So a slight nerf to Plague Glaive. Okay. Poppy Field Poison 6 was 8. Fair nerf. Quillanink. Cooldown to 7,654 was 7, and the poison and regen are just 1 at all tiers. Interesting change. Huh. I don't know. What do you do with this late, though? I guess you play it in, like, I don't know, sampler charge loops. It was a library. I don't know. You play it with, like, Life Conduit Idol of Decay. So 4-second multicast. That's not terrible. I could see it. All right. Runic Great Axe back at silver. Oh, but the crit bonus is different. It is 50%, 75, and 100% crit instead of 100% to all your lifesteal weapons. And then it also loses cooldown. I don't know, 5 seconds is not terrible if you're still playing carpet that late into the game. At least there's a reason to upgrade this now, I suppose. All right, Sands of Time is back at a 6-second cooldown, was 5. Last patch, it got adjusted to a 5. Whoa, Spider Mace starts at silver. What a tragedy. I don't know. It's not like it was that great early on anyway, but it was really easy to find. I like just buying one day 1, even if I wasn't going to play it till like day 7. All right, Test Subject Alpha, cooldown to 6.5 seconds instead of 6.4, poison to 30.50 instead of 30.60. I've seen a couple people playing this with the, what the hell is this thing called? Infused Bracers. So maybe that was, I don't know. I didn't really fuck with this or see any of it, but I guess there was a reason for it. Thurible, cooldown to 6.543 was 6, burn 5. Okay. And then 1 regen. 3-second burn 5. I don't know, you play with torch maybe? Sounds okay-ish. And then Venom. When you use the item to the left of this poison, was weapon. Okay. Interesting. So you can play this with, like, I don't know, what do you do with this? Idol of Decay stuff, obviously. I don't know, apothecary, maybe? Maybe. I don't know. There's a couple things. We'll change. Alright, Stelle items. Altimeter, cooldown to 8 seconds. This is the, if both adjacent items are flying, this item's cooldown is reduced by like 2. And then it charges your adjacent items. Okay. I saw a couple of those with like space laser, right? So I guess that's the idea behind this. Anemometer. What is this thing? Oh, it's this guy. Okay. So yeah, cooldown to 5.43 seconds was 4, haste for 2 seconds flat. So overall, I'd say a buff. Good change. Bit nicer for start time if you just want to get stuff flying, right? 3-second get adjacent items flying at 6 seconds is not bad. Aviators got their shielding doubled, right? Yeah, cool. These are the when you burn charge this. Clockwork Disc had its damage nerfed by 5. Okay. Cloud Tinker had its damage scaling nerfed by, it's now 20, 40, 60 instead of 30, 60, 90. Fair enough. It was very silly. It really was a Stelle item. 3 seconds, adjacent weapons gain 90 damage. But yeah, I saw a couple people playing this with like Lightning Rod, right? And you still can for sure. Lava Roller, correction an issue where this item's enchants were not benefiting from the double burn effect until the next activation. I never noticed that before, but cool that it's fixed. Lightning Butterfly is now a 5-second instead of a 4. Unfortunate, but understandable. Lightning Rod only deals damage on you slowing or freezing, was both players. Good change. Thank God. There was nothing more soul crushing than playing like a slow build, walking into Stelle, and then not only your slow and freezes not doing anything, but also killing yourself with it. That's nice. It'll still prevent slow and freeze, of course, but it's a little less counter, I guess. Orbital Polish has an active ability. Whoa. 6-second cooldown, haste this for 1 second, and it stops flying. Okay, well, that doesn't sound that great. But it's cool that it has one. Parts Picker, cooldown reduction to 0.5 and 1 second was 1 second. Okay. Fair enough. Ramming balloon 1, 2, 3 shield items start flying. That's a really good change. And I don't know. I still think it's a little bit tough because it is still an 8-second item. So you're waiting like 16 seconds. I don't know. But cool change. I don't know. I guess you could maybe like just haste ramming balloon, right? And then that's how you get your flying out. Maybe. All right. And then sirens, the only item that gets worse as you upgrade it. It apparently is just intended at this point that it increases in cooldown as you go. But now it has the first time an enemy uses an item each fight, use this. Very good change. I like that a lot, and probably makes Diamond Sirens worth running over like anything else. Because I think that was his issue. You gotta meet some weird multicast requirements, and it also increases in cooldown. So I don't know. It's just weird current Sirens, because like you don't want to late game Bazaar. I want my items to go faster, not slower, thanks. But this kind of helps with that. I like it. Skyliner, this is the one multicast for each flying item, burn to 25-45 instead of 30-40. So a bit less drastic at bronze, but probably still very good, and actually a buff at diamond. Space laser, cooldown to 32-28 instead of 30-25. Updated VFX, I gotta see that shit. Yeah, a nerf to it. Fair enough. It was very good. I gotta see that. And then toolbox now spawns a tool from any hero, which I don't know. I guess it's fine. Makes sense. It's more in line with stuff like fishing rod or schematics, right? Vortex cannon also now has updated visuals. Cool stuff. All right, common items: Barb Spike, Warden, Poison Scaling to 4. They also changed Blaze Howl. They also changed Blaze Howl to 4 scaling. Biomerge arm once again gives the item to the left max ammo in all situations. It was caught in a sweep of ammo fixes, but is a unique effect that forcibly makes an item have max ammo even if it didn't before. Oh, okay, so we're back to this making it an ammo item. Okay, cool. Octopus's updated visual effects, hell yeah. Tantia's carrier starts at legendary tier, cooldown to 8 seconds was 12. If you don't know what this item is, I don't blame you. It is from the Stelle combat event. And you could also sometimes find it at Pearl, but not anymore. It's legendary only. So I don't know, at 8 seconds, I don't know. I have played this before on Vanessa. I was playing it with a rowboat. It felt terrible. I don't know. Is taking 4 seconds off of it gonna save it? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you're also just supposed to play this on Stelle, right? Stelle only, probably. Maybe it's all right then. Anyway, skills. Everlasting life. Let's see. What is this one? So this was when you use a heal or regen item, gain 5-10 max health for this fight. Now this is the first 4, 8, 12 times use a heal or regen item, gain 50 max health. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's a little bit lame. I've always wanted to try getting this skill with like a T set, but oh well. Maybe that means they'll buff T set. Frontline logistics. Oh, this is the one that's like, yeah, use an ammo item, your damage items, or is it just ammo? Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Use a ammo item, your weapons gain 2, 4, 6 damage instead of 3, 6, 9. Fair enough. It was a pretty decent skill, I guess. I don't know. They really deserve it, maybe. Anyway, healthy jolt starts at silver. Haste 1, 2, 3 seconds instead of 2, 4. I wonder if Banana Bowl no longer has gold healthy jolt then. I hope so. I've been working on a monster guide video. Kind of waiting for a big release to put it out though. Healthy jolt, definitely like one of the silliest skills you can hit early though, if you can make it work. It's like purely balanced by the fact that like 3 of the characters can't really do it. Healthy tip starts at silver. This is when you gain gold, gain max HP equal to it. So gold is probably 2x and diamond is 3x. Good change. I felt like healthy tip always came too late into a run and was just like not very noticeable at all and very bad, but good change. Open for business, income scaling 2, 3, 4 per property. Sure. Strong arm. What the fuck is strong arm? Oh, this is the weapons have plus damage equal to your income. So now also at diamond, this is 4x your income, which I don't know, Pig could hit some decent numbers off that. I've seen pigs with like 25 income, so that could potentially be plus 100 damage on a crick board, maybe. Interesting. And then Toxic Flame starts at gold. I wonder if they nerf the scaling though. And then finally, a little teaser at the end here. A hush falls over the bazaar, and you have this little guy, and then lightning flashes. Hold on, what is that? Let me get a screenshot of that. Yeah, there we go. It's like a little creature. You can see like some teeth here. Weird eye. Looks cool. And then also someone pointed out on the Discord that if you go to save this GIF, it's called Patch 9 Karnak. So maybe new hero? Maybe. It would be cool. I mean, we need a new one to look forward to, right? Maybe like a vampire type? I don't know. Maybe more like a werewolf looking. Maybe. I don't know. He gives me vampire vibes. But that's definitely not a vampire. Whatever he's becoming there for a second. Anyway, that's all for this patch. Once again, great changes overall, mostly. Lots of cool new stuff to try. I'm glad they're keeping the Bazaar fresh. I very much appreciate the devs. And new hero, maybe? Question mark? Who knows? I'm not a knower. Definitely not. That's just what people are saying in the Discord. Anyway. Oh, I made him blue. Sorry. Anyway, that's all for me. Cool patch. I will be streaming this later tonight in about 4 hours since this video came out. So maybe come say hi. Come check out the new patch with me. It'll be lots of fun, hopefully. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. If you want to help me out, consider leaving a like. See ya.